What in the hell? Am I here? Did something just really weird happen? I'm assuming we're still there. Okay. Jesus. What? I don't know what's going on there. Sorry about that, guys. My router's been acting weirder than hell today. It's like, don't really have answers for you on that one. Look at that. Now we're pausing out. Not very happy. Am I back? Am I back? Am I live? Something's going on with my stream. Can anyone give me a yes you're back or no you're not? All right, we're back. Seriously? Am I lucky? Sorry, I don't know what's going on. It just keeps jamming down. Well, there's the place that I'm using in Thailand right now for steel, and I've been real pleased with their stuff. I'll be happy to give you that information if you're interested. It's yay, there we go. Sorry guys, once again, who knows what's going on. I'm having weird lag issues. Yeah, for the steel stuff, I've been going to a place in Thailand. And if you're interested in that, I'd be more than happy to give you their information. My sales rep there is just absolutely awesome, and they're very interested in expanding the business in this. They primarily did body jewelry and produced it on their own, and we've been working with them quite a bit doing my own custom stuff, not just body jewelry but rings and stuff, and their pricing's pretty spectacular. I mean, you know, the whole made in America is nice, but you can't touch those prices. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, whoop whoop. But they're called Salamander, and the woman I deal with is And if you call her and ask for Olga and tell her that I sent you, she's very friendly. And like I said, looking to do more business, OEM business, as opposed to they generate their own work as well. But while I was over there, we had a conversation, and they're very interested, like I said, in expanding this side of the business. So yes, that is a very good option. At least in my opinion, that's a really good option. I've been really pleased. Well, first of all, ZBrush is very accurate scale, but I just use Ringmaster. It's a plugin. You just type in the size ring you want, and then boop, you go. And then most of your casting facilities will tell you what the shrinkage rates are for your metals. So in steel, I have about an 8%. In silver, our average is 3%. So then you just add that to the size when you export. Yeah, no, Salamander's awesome. I mean, they're super cool. And they have low minimums. You know, sometimes your minimums are like 10 pieces. And when you're dealing with, you know, $5 to $10 a piece, it's not going to send you broke. And they do silver casting as well. But yeah, no, they're awesome. Olga at Salamander. And they're listed as Bangkok. And I mean, you've seen how detailed my work is, and I'm okay doing it. It's awesome. I mean, you have to rearrange some details for the steel because the minimum detail is like 0.3 of a mil. But I've been getting good results, you know. I just don't like this lag. Why is this lagging like this? It's very weird. See that? How it just pauses like every 4th or 5th stroke. It just kind of goes, ugh. See. Okay, here we go again. My frustrations. But yeah, no, they're great. Love them. They're my peeps. Okay. One last time. Let's flip this bad boy. Here. Merge visible. Split 2 parts. You can do it. Uh-oh. Ooh. Bad call. I love it when I do that. It's my favorite thing. So we are going to go boop. Boop. Boom, boom. So all this noise is when I'm merging things together. When you do any Boolean operation, you'll want to do this because this gets rid of the garbage. I just wasn't thinking, and live Boolean's on. That's the damn problem. All that lagging's because of live Boolean. So this is actually a good example of what the issue is with doing live Boolean, is that it often creates this noise stuff. You want to get rid of it beforehand. You just don't want to do it that way. I'll show you how to do it. Let's merge visible one more time. That's our new merged piece, right? Okay, where's that other merge piece that had 11 billion? There it is, 33. Delete all. Wait, did we get the stone in this one? Yep. Okay, come back here, delete all. So the easiest way to get rid of all that crap, here we'll do the same thing. We're going to merge visible. Right? So we know that this will break up into 33 parts, right? So since we know that, it's fairly easy to deal with. But what we do is we auto group. And so now it's taken all of those 33 parts and turned them into their own polygroup. So now I come here, select this. We're going to mask this off, tap it back, go here, mask this off, tap it back, go there, mask this off, tap it back, flip, nope, oop, 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 there we go. Now go to hide parts, and see now we can split hidden, and I'll show you the parts. So here you can see all that noise, right? It's just all these weird little parts and stuff, and it's just a few places where we had some weird goobly thing. But normally I don't even split it, I'll just delete hidden. But that's the easier way to do it, is auto group and then tap it, split it out, and go from there. So here we're going to take this and now group split, okay, and it should just have 3. Boop, there we go. Since that's round, we're going to take this, we're going to mirror and weld. Wrong direction, flip it, mirror and weld. Mirror and weld usually only goes one direction, and that's why you can get that sort of error, right? So there we go. Now we're going to bring this in, and we are going to merge a down. Come on, boop, there we go. And now we are going to remesh by union. So this can, I have to play with that shape again. We were talking about it and then I futzed with it and didn't actually clean up the shape, but that's okay. W, boom, remesh by union. You can do it. Since I was having problems, I was just going to merge all this together and then do a quickie rendering. You can do it. See, Boolean operation, but several warnings. Now you'll notice after you Boolean, if you come out and there's any issue with it, it will instantly save. Yes, wait for program to respond. The gray screen of wait. There we go. And so here again, cube. We're going to go auto group. We are going to tap this. We're going to mask it. I guess we don't have to. Yeah, we'll split hidden. Sorry. There's only one piece here. We had to mask them when we had the multiple parts. Alright, we're just going to delete that. Go back to here. And let's here we go. Move symmetry X, Y, Z. Boom. Let's make sure we like our silhouettes. Alright, there we go. And then under normal circumstances, which means when I'm not planning on, come on. Since I've been having issues tonight, I figured we were going to just drop this out. I would remesh this again because I have weird seams that I don't necessarily have control over, and so I would just duplicate this, Z remesh it, and then divide it up and reproject. We don't want any sharp edges here. We want this to ride smoothly on the hand so it's comfortable. And I'll come up with some detail element on this. Boop. We're gonna give that. Mask everything that could get in the way. And let's go back to Y. And see, now you don't get that pinching because you don't have the two surfaces sitting on top of one another. And now we can come in and do something with this surface. And the nice thing about doing it this way is now you're sort of selling the story of the same, you know, it's a cylindrical object being pinched in between all this, and it's nice. It's nice. Mm-hmm. But you see what I mean? That's a scene that I don't have control over, right? Because these were all different mesh densities. And that's why that scene right there is exactly why I would remesh instead of doing this at this point. Alright. And see that sets that up nicely. And there it is. And that reads okay from the top. I have to play around with the lines a little bit more, but that's pretty darn close, honestly. And they'll just bend those over, and we'll get a nice little roundy thing. It'll be good. I think I'm going to trim that down just a little bit more, though. All right. That'll fold over nicely. I think. Bump. Bring this stuff in a little. Maybe not. Let's go ahead and just make the silhouettes work for me. And that's really just a tippy-tappy move around till I like all the curves hitting, right? You can see like there's a little flat spot in this curve here. And then I would prefer these curves to kind of be relative in one format or another. Got Mexican masked wrestlers, mushrooms, bird skulls. That's a good shape. I like it. All right. So I think this is pretty darn close. See, there's another scene. And that's why I would Z-remesh it and reproject, and that way you get rid of all that garbage. And when I come in and I'm trying to tune these little edges up to be perfect, they can do that. Now look, more noisy things. Duplicate, boop. Detect edges, Z-remesh. Boom. Shoulders aren't supposed to make that kind of noise, are they? Water. That's not good. I love me some San Pellegrino. It's like a bubbly mineral lick. Anybody have any questions or anything? All right, and so nice, clean, good mesh. And now we divide it up. There we go. We won't let our first reprojection be 12 mil. Lower res, reproject. Different pieces merged together. Did it in three basic pieces. But since I had such an overlap here, once we're done projecting, I'll show you the pieces. That's a great last name. Contrebi. I like it. All right, so now we have a remeshed object. We have a few little weird projections there. It's because I had symmetry on. Be careful when you're reprojecting. See how it's trying to project symmetrically? I did not. This is the problem with mirror and weld. Is that what I should have done is duplicate, rotate, and that way these are not the same. You know, this, they'd be going in opposite directions, but that's okay, because this isn't the final part. This is merely, boop, here we go, boop, nope, open up. Alright, so we had this piece, hold on, let's hide the cutter and the bezel, and the stone. So there was this piece, and then the bezel. Right. And this just allowed me to make sure that both sides are clean and stuff before I started going to it. That's roughly the part. That's interesting. What was it doing in there? That's okay. I can come back in and fix that by hand if this were the final part. Turn our little stone. Alright. Nice good shapes. Looks okay from there. And what's funny, duplicate. So when we talk about production models and rendering models for jewelry, this is the difference. So as you can see, this is a production model because the seat, the stone just drops into the seat, right? And this isn't folded over. So a rendering model would be us taking this model and then kind of filling this in to where that fold over would be. And I'm not spending a huge amount of time making sure that's exactly right. And then we knock this over because bezel setting, right? You're taking that metal and folding it over, thus holding the stone in. Right, I'm going to sand that off. And so now this becomes a rendering model. Yeah, I know. My server has been acting a little weird, or my router has been acting a little weird. It dumped me earlier today and now it was doing okay, and now it's just being a pain in the butt again. So once I get this done, we're gonna call it a thing because I don't know what's going on, and it really, really frustrates me. It makes me really, really aggro. There And so now, nope, that's not the one. If it was made by ZModeler, it wouldn't have the same. I would, for the most part, start almost all this with ZModeler, with the ring size with ZMaster, with Ringmaster, and then I would do a basic concept lockup, get my parts and flows going with ZModeler. I start almost everything with ZModeler because it gives me the best. Now, I don't spend a lot of time in ZModeler. I'm not, like, I might try to figure out this rough weave in ZModeler, but no, honestly, I almost everything starts in ZModeler. But yes, then I get out of ZModeler pretty quick, and we get on to sculpting pretty fast. But oddly enough, almost everything starts from Ringmaster and ZModeler, because it allows me to have the lowest geometry possible for my first base sculpt thing. There you go. And so that's a rendering model, that's a production model, right? Because they're going to have to hammer that down. But you want to show the piece set, right? Does that make sense? Boop, 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 boop. No, not pinch. Something like that. Camera. No, not radial. Escape. Not gonna do it. Yeah, you just start moving stuff around. Honestly, even the weavings, for the most part, I will almost always start with ZModeler. This one was a little different just because I was sort of in a big hurry. And so I very quickly moved stuff around because my friend was only here for the weekend. But a lot of the time, I will start the weaving stuff in ZModeler. Because honestly, once again, it's easier to control punching holes and stuff in ZModeler. So it's a good place to start, actually, for things like this. But yeah, it is definitely a just fuddle around until you get something you like sort of thing, as opposed to being a very definite process, I guess, or a process, maybe the wrong word. What? A predefined form here. Something like that for now. Alrighty, there we go. Close enough to spit on for the moment. Alright. So now, render external render KeyShot. All right. Let's see what they do. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, for production, you have to leave the bezels open, but for rendering, you want it to seem as if it has been set. So, all right, go away. Oops. Slide you over here, environment. No. Oh, yes. Size, boop. 500. Ground size. I do share. My mat cap actually is just Mod Dirty Blue. It's on Pixelogic's download site under mat. I find that the Mod Dirty Blue number 1, Mod Dirty Blue number 1 is the closest you'll get to what the depth of your details will be in printing, right? Because, you know, since a lot of these have highlights and lowlights baked in, you can get really dramatic stuff, but that's not actually what you're getting. So I find that the Mod Dirty Blue one is the best. Let's see, materials. It's too cold. Okay, close and spit on. And then let's go to materials. And if I'm not mistaken, transparency distance is our issue. There we go. I have a smoother white gold. No. Let's go to that. How do I get that secondary? Which one is it? I'll tell you what, KeyShot kills it. I love it. Because I'm a ding-dong that doesn't render very well. And I'll tell you what, that's my color I'm looking for. What happens if we just yank that? No, let's put it back in there. But isn't there just a level? That's not the answer. See, I just want a touch of that, but I can't remember how to get this to be like just apply X amount as opposed to it being maybe pull that one. Okay, that's a little better. Okay. So be it. There we go. That's close enough to spit on. I'm gonna take a picture of that and send that to her. Shinya. Alrighty, so let's move this. Let's take tumble and rotate this around a little. What's that? Well, these materials, these were materials that I downloaded, but you just go in to the material setup and change them. Like I created some of these silvers, and then this was one that someone else created, but I sort of like how it's looking, you know. So I didn't like it was a sort of gold, so I wanted it to be a little bit more goldy or less goldy. So let's send that to her. Come on, you know me. Yeah, this will be white gold. So it holds up, and they go to clubs and stuff, so we chose a big safe bezel because that'll prevent it from, you know, that'll really protect a stone from getting dinged up and banged up and stuff. And there's the inside. She wanted a pentagram hidden in it, and so it's kind of stashed in there. Yeah. Ooh, look, big old bright and shiny. That's not the answer, is it? It's funny, my jewelry really needs texture. I don't like it over polished. It's even black. They always laugh at me because, or it looks good in auto paint. Blue and blue. Yellow and blue. You have to be careful to really smooth things out in these if you're cavity masking. Alrighty. So I think that's more what we're looking for. Nope. 2-carat sapphire. It's really pretty, actually. We got a really good one. It was nice. Ma Dirty Blue 1 under matte. Here. It is. Nope, not ZBrush Central. Pixelogic. Under Pixelogic, under download libraries, so download center, right here under matte, and I think it's down here, almost at the bottom. Yep, right here. Ma Dirty Blue. Right, so Get Help, Download Center, Matte Caps, Matte, Ma Dirty Blue 1. Oh, it's just a lot of fun. It's good stuff. And especially, I mean, when you start, so like now we're here, right? Go back to this material. And then you open your material graph. And you can come back in. And, you know, these textures, if you don't know what it's doing, you can just take it off and look at it. That didn't change that much. You know, that changed it. No, that didn't change it much. Oh, that was wrong. There we go. So what you'll know is that that's cavity. So right here, see, this is the cavity. If we just take this off. Oh, come on. Right? Look what it does to it. So it's really fun and interesting to try to figure out like all the stuff to do with it. You can change, you can bring different textures, all of that in. It has different, like, you can make it paint and it changes how it deals with it, right? So now this looks like a flat matte paint instead of a metallic. Plastic gives a little bit of shine. And see, this will give you your specular metallic paint. It's really fascinating. And you just go in and futz with it, and it's just like, it's pretty cool. Isn't that neat? Boop. And you know, you can just go through and see what each one does. What's really cool is you click on this, you select it, and if you hit, which one is it? Yeah, so this is showing you what it's doing. So you can click on each one and it shows you. And then how do you turn it off? I can't remember. There you go. You double click it and it turns off. But if you want to know what this one does, you click on it and it's showing you that's what that's doing. Right? And so you could just come through, go through and change it, and it's just super neat. It's like, yeah, let's click on that, come here. Nope, no, not duplicate. See what it's doing. Come here. And then as you futz with it, you can see what each one's doing. You can change how it behaves. Yeah, it's just super cool. Right. Oh, here it is. And like if I don't want these to be dark or as dark, you go okay, let's click on that one. Okay, turn that off. Now it does different stuff. You know, it's just cool. It's so much fun. I don't know enough about it, the real stuff behind it, but I have a lot of fun. All right, kind and gentle folk, I think that I'm done too. It is pushing 1 o'clock. Oh no, it's 1:30. All right, Kyle, there's an image for you. Let's see what it looks like from the top real quick. That's the only thing that bothers me about KeyShot is that I can't, you know, there's not a move, twist, and you have to come up and change them up here. I don't think there are KeyBrush shortcuts to them. Oh, gotta come and change your camera. Focal length to eye is actually much more up here. That was a little too close. That's a little bit more how you see things. Yeah, there we go. That's better. For a good rendering, I'd have to come in and get rid of some of that because it's white gold. We're not going to get that kind of thing. But yeah, all right, there we go. Kind and gentle folk, I appreciate you hanging out. I will see you next Monday. And also, right here at the bottom of the screen, everything's white, so you can't see it. Let's go back to this. At the bottom of the screen here, you will see the critique. If you have models that you would like me to look at, talk over, critique, people get paranoid that it's like a critique. but it's really discussing your models, discussing design elements of your models, and discussing printability and just how to make your models better in general. If you want me to look at a model at the end of the month, the last Monday of every month, I do that. And at the bottom of the page over there, you will see ZBrush.sh.tsw. That's the file request for my Dropbox. If you do that, you can upload your models, and you can upload them all, over the month. It doesn't matter. And then we will look at those models and just kind of go over them. And like I said, we'll talk about design, we'll talk about printability, producibility. It doesn't have to be jewelry, it can be figure work. Actually, the last couple of weeks has been mostly figure work. Toys, you name it, I have an opinion. And so, yeah, and thanks ZBrush, and thanks everyone at ZBrush, Joseph, Joe, Kyle, everybody, Sharon, yeah. I appreciate it, and continue to watch ZBrush Live. There's a lot of people out there who are very, very, very talented, and we're filling up the calendar a lot more now. It's awesome to see all the new people coming in and streaming, so keep your eye on that calendar. And like I said, upload models you want to see. I'll see you next Monday. All right, sorry for bothering you. Wait a minute, what'd I miss? Did I blow you off, Jimmy? Sorry, I don't want to leave someone hanging. Jim. Hi, Jimmy, anime. Oh, share my Mac. Okay. Okay. I was just like, I didn't remember. All right. So I didn't blow you off. That's good. All right. And anything you want to know, just feel free to reach out and contact me about it. And yeah, thank you, everybody. See you next week. Let me figure out how to turn this thing off. No, you were bothering me. I saw sorry for bothering you, and then I was like, oh my god, did I answer your question? All right, ignore me. I'm a ding dong. Lord of the Rings. Right on. Okay, have a great one. Ciao, guys.